More problems for McCain tonight, this time coming from another top advisor, former Hewlett-Packard CEO Carly Fiorina, thought by some to be on the short list of McCain VP choices. During a speech about women and health insurance on Monday, Fiorina argued that, quote, many health insurance plans cover Viagra but won't cover birth control medication. Those women would like a choice. Yes, Carly, I bet they would. But offering women that choice is not exactly reflected in John McCain's voting record in the Senate. He voted against a proposal that would have required insurance companies to pay for prescription contraception just as they pay for Viagra. In some of the most riveting campaign footage of the entire year so far, let's watch candidate McCain squirm and squint and try to will himself out of his own body when he was asked about this on his campaign bus yesterday.
I certainly do not want to discuss that issue.
But I think you voted against.
I don't know what I
voted against coverage of birth control, forcing health insurance companies to cover birth control in the past. Is that still your position?
Look at my voting record on it, but I have. I don't recall the vote right now, but I'll be glad to look at it and get back to you as to why.
I guess her statement was that it was unfair that health insurance companies cover Viagra but not birth control. Do you have an opinion on that?
I don't know enough about it to give you a informed answer because I don't recall the vote. I cast thousands of votes in the Senate, but I will respond to you. It's a choice. It's something that I had not thought much about, and I did hear about her response, but I hadn't thought much about it. I will get back to you today on it. I don't usually duck an issue, but I'll try to get back to you.
Let's bring in Chris Hayes, Washington editor of The Nation magazine. Hi, Chris. Thanks for your time tonight.
Hey, Rachel. How you doing?
Great. When pressed by that reporter, Maeve Reston of the LA Times, who, by the way, deserves some kudos here, when pressed by Reston on whether it was fair that some insurance companies cover erectile dysfunction meds but not birth control, McCain answered, quote, it's something that I had not thought much about. And yet he voted on it in the U.S. Senate. Is the big headline here that a senator admits to not bothering to even think about things he nevertheless votes on?
Well, it's funny. This is actually kind of a John McCain tick. He does this fairly often. In fact, there was an article, I want to say it was in the New Republic, in which he talked about this. And reporters like it the first time they encounter it or the second time they encounter it because it seems so kind of frank. He says, well, you know, I actually don't know that much about that, or I can't really remember that vote. And it seems kind of like a breath of fresh air because it's honest. But he does it enough time, you start to think, well, do you pay any attention to the votes you're casting? I mean, look, clearly a memo went out when the bill here, right, was to require insurance companies to cover something. Now, the Republican Party is not in the business of, you know, requiring insurance companies to do anything. So I'm sure he was just told by his staff, look, you know, vote against this bill. But it's clearly not something that he thought a lot about.
And if Carly Fiorina is appealing for women's votes on the basis that John McCain believes something about this that not only did he vote against, but he's never thought about, it's awkward. Fiorina also said John McCain has never signed on to efforts to overturn Roe v. Wade. Yes, he has. On the campaign trail, he said that the law protecting a woman's right to have an abortion, quote, should be overturned. How exactly is Carly Fiorina helping here? And drawing attention without being factually correct to all these things that are supposedly supposed to appeal to women voters.
Well, she's trying to help. I mean, she's trying to run a hustle, basically. I mean, look, John McCain is pro-life, okay? John McCain thinks Roe v. Wade should be overturned. John McCain believes the government should have a right to stop women from exercising their right to choice over what their body does, okay? That fact is not widely known. This sort of aura and patina of moderateness kind of lingers around John McCain. And if you look at the polling data, far less people and far less women know what John McCain's stance on is on abortion than you would think. And so Carly Fiorina is a very effective surrogate because my own sense is that she herself is pro-choice. She's obviously a very prominent and very gifted and smart woman. And she's going around the country trying to sort of portray the softer side of John McCain, the pro-woman side. But the fact of the matter is his record is clear. He wants to overturn Roe v. Wade, and he wants to appoint Supreme Court justices who would, like Roberts and Alito, who we think would do the same.
Carly Fiorina is saying things about John McCain's record that are not true. McCain is, as you saw, squirming on camera like a kindergartner between bathroom breaks. Phil Gramm just blew Bittergate out of the water with this mental recession, we're a nation of whiners stuff. Where's the media scrum? Can you imagine, Chris, the contrast if this stuff were going on in the Obama campaign?
Yeah, I mean, you know, McCain once again kind of skates by on his charm or perceived charm, and you know, I think it'll wear thin. I mean, I want to say that as this goes on, we're going to get to a situation where there is a more equalizing of treatment, and that's my kind of, I guess, optimistic take on things. But yeah, there's absolutely no balance right now between the reaction to supposed gas that come out of the mouth of Democratic surrogates and Senator Obama and the actual gas that come out of the mouths of the surrogates of Senator McCain.
Chris Hayes, Washington editor of The Nation. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks a lot, Rachel.